see, preparing to live stream. The meeting is being live streamed. I got it. You like my backdrop here? It's pretty cool, isn't it? This is our virtual 3D Virbela world that we use for our collaboration. So we are ready to rock and roll. Hey guys, if you are here to learn about eXp, you're in the right place. If you're a brand new agent, you're an agent that's been around, you're somebody on a team, maybe you have your own brokerage and you just want to learn more about what is all this buzz about. Well, we're going to go over it. I'm not going to be able to cover everything because there's so much to this company. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the highlights of how this brokerage is the fastest growing real estate brokerage that's ever existed, how it's literally changing agents' lives because this is a brand new model. This is not a regular traditional brick and mortar franchise real estate company. This is a high flying, publicly traded stock and revenue sharing opportunity for agents that is not out there. It simply isn't. I've been 25 years in real estate and there isn't a brokerage out there that's like this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to highlight the major points. What you want to do is you want to dive back in with the person that sent you here, whether it's me or somebody else, to get a more in depth. But I think what you're going to hear here, is really kind of why agents are flocking to this brokerage. And we just hit 85,000 agents, which is absolutely insane. So I'm going to back it up. I'm going to introduce myself. I want you to have an open mind because one of the things that we do well as real estate agents is buy and sell homes. But what we don't do is we don't look at the business model of the brokerage that we're getting involved with. I know I didn't for many years. I've been doing this 25 years. And for the good majority of it, 13 of it, I didn't, or this type of model wasn't around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a screen share right now and let's get started. Okay. So let's go. All righty. You should be able to see my screen and work off to the races. So once again, if you are here to learn about eXp, you're in the right place. All right. My background, real quickly, I've been in real estate 25 years. I moved to the Washington, D.C. area. Gosh, I'm embarrassed to say this, 1988. That's me, younger and healthier. Back, I signed with the Washington Redskins. I played with them for a few years. I played in London for the NFL Europe. I won a world championship. And then I actually got into sports afterwards. I was a director of sales for the Washington Capitals and Wizards for 5 years. And my last year was 98 when we went to the Stanley Cup Finals against the Red Wings many moons ago. It was at that time that I said, I never want to have a boss again. I don't want to have a boss anymore. I want to be able to set my own time and, dictate where I go in life. And that's when I got into real estate. Started out at Weichert, and then I quickly moved to Remax and was there for, they were the biggest company at the time. And I was loving life, doing well, had a little team. I was on HGTV at the time with Sabrina Soto. I was on a show called Get It Sold. So life was pretty cool. And then I got approached about eXp. And so here goes the tale. A guy by the name of Tom Somerville came to me and said, listen, I'm leaving Remax. I'm going to this company you probably never heard of, but I think they're the next real estate brokers that's going to explode. And I was, at the time, I didn't really believe him. But there was something unique about this model that I thought, this is different. This is cutting edge. This is really putting the agent first. And so I listened to him. And the more I heard it, and listen to what I say this, when you hear this, you won't be able to unhear what eXp has to offer financially with tools, training, and collaboration that any other brokerage will be able to offer you. So he asked me these questions. What is my exit strategy from real estate? What does that exit strategy look like? Do you own any part of your brokerage? And do you share in the revenues of your brokerage? He asked me those questions, and I was like, no. I mean, I sell real estate, and I'm saving some in a 401k, but he said, you're helping build that brand. You're bringing agents on. What are you getting in return for it? And I never even thought about that. You know, if we brought somebody on at RE/MAX, I would get, a Starbucks card. And I thought that was great. Hey, I get a free coffee. And ownership, that was, if you went to your broker right now, if you're in a brokerage and say, hey, listen, I'd like to have some ownership in this, he'd, tell you to go fly a kite. You don't have ownership in traditional brick and mortar offices. That's where this company is drastically different. So I'm going to show you how. But first, I want to give you kind of a little background of, especially for you newer agents, what are brokerages, what are their models like, and how are they different? So here's a perfect example. Everything on the left-hand side, great companies, they have pretty logos, they've got great agents doing a lot of volume. But the difference is the business model is different. They're all owned by somebody else at the end of the day. You have no ownership in any of these. And if you went to the head of these and said, can I have some equity? Or better yet, can I share in the revenue that we make as a company? They're going to say, no. That's where eXp is different. We're not a franchise. We're publicly traded on Nasdaq. We have a global footprint, and the company shares its revenue, 50% of the revenue. Glenn Sanford, who started this company, has made a pledge, 50% of the revenue I'm going to share with the agents on top of your commissions. And I'm going to give you free stock, and you have the opportunity to earn it 5 other ways. So I thought, that's interesting. I've never had that where I was. And I was a pretty successful agent at RE/MAX. I was in the Hall of Fame and, did pretty good volume. Nope. And that statement right there was never more telling than when I left RE/MAX at 12 years. I'd put in 12 years there. When I left there, I received nothing. Nobody called me up, didn't get any stock, didn't have any revenue share. To this day, it's funny, I'm actually here at eXp the exact same amount of time, 12 years. And if I left, this is not a joke, I would get hundreds of thousands of dollars until I retire. Millions. I know that sounds far-fetched, but it's true. And so to this day, I call it dumb luck or the grace of God, but I'm so glad that I made that decision to come here. This is the traditional brick and mortar business model for most brokerages. You have a big office, you have the franchising fees or the personal owner, and then that's passed on to the agents, right? And this is what they look like as well. On the left-hand side, it's kind of a pyramid scheme where you have the owners or the brokerage person who runs it, or the franchise owner or regional. They are all up at the top. And then you have these layers of international, regional directors, franchise brokers, and then the agents are down at the bottom. eXp has turned that model upside down where the agents literally help the company grow. They share in the revenue, and they have stock equity ownership in the company. When you sell your first deal, the company gives you free stock. You don't pay for it. They want you to feel like you have ownership in this, pride in this company. When you cap, which means you do roughly 2.7 million in production, which is not a very high bar, company gives you more stock. And if I introduce somebody to the company and they sell something, I get more stock. because they want to incentivize me to help other people grow their business. What a novel idea. I never had that where I was before. When I was at the other company with the big balloon, nobody cared whether I sold or not. Here, there's a true collaboration. When you come on board, you're part of a team, you have a tribe, and they really want to help you succeed. That is really different than what's going on with these other brokerages. So, excuse me, this is a picture of us down in New York several years ago when we actually listed on Nasdaq. We're all owners of that. Every agent with eXp has an ownership stake in this company. Where I was before, I didn't. And so that is a real game changer. Not only are we owners of eXp Realty, but we're actually owners of a stock that covers multiple companies that are in real estate. One is eXp, but another one is, you see that 3D virtual platform behind me? This is called the metaverse. You've probably seen Facebook and a number of other companies rolling it out. We've been using it for 12 years, okay? We've got 85,000 agents that are using this. We also have universities using it, the federal government's using it, the NBA I heard was using it. There's a number of people, we have ownership of it. Success Magazine, you've probably seen this with all these pretty people, Shaq, you know, all the successful people that are in business. Elon Musk was on the cover. We own that as well. I have ownership in Success Properties and Magazine. And then Showcase IDX. That is a IDX plugin that goes for agent websites. That's used in almost every brokerage that's in the United States. We own it. So other agents with Long and Foster and Weichert, and they're using our product. I think that's hilarious. But that's the stock that you earn when you come on with the company. Just a quick history of how we got here. In 1971, Century 21 launched franchising. They came up with the idea that we're going to have a company, we're going to sell franchises in regions, and they rolled it out, and everybody had a yellow jacket, and everybody was, you know, selling real estate with that ugly yellow jacket. Well, then what happened was Dave Liniger came along with Remax, and he said, we're going to change this. We're going to give the agents more money. You pay us a monthly fee. We're going to give you 100% of your commission. And that was awesome. I was there. They were the biggest company in the world. But then Keller Williams came along in 1983. They started out in Austin, Texas. And Gary Keller had a great idea that he wanted to train the agents better. He wanted to make them more professional. He wanted them to really run the real estate business like a true business. And he wanted to share in the profits of the company. And they became the biggest. Well, fast forward to 2009, Glenn Sanford, our founder of the company, he came from Keller Williams, and he said, that's a great company, but I think that there's another level. We're going to take away all the biggest overhead items, and we're going to not only put it back into the company, but we're going to put it back into the agent's pockets by better compensation. And so thus was the inception of eXp Realty. They took the brick and mortar, they took the franchising off the table, and they laid out a publicly traded company. So we as agents get paid more, have stock ownership equity, and we have the ability to share in the company's revenue. And it's the analogy that I would make is, you know, there was a time there, you probably, for the younger folks, there was a Blockbuster where you'd go and get a videotape and you'd have to go to the store. And then Netflix came along and said, hey, we're Netflix, we're going to do stuff online. And Blockbuster laughed and said, ha, 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 no, you're not. There's no more Blockbusters. It's all Netflix, and they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Same thing is happening in the real estate industry. That model is dying on the vine, and eXp is flourishing. So was saying that this is a simple image of how we're different in very layman terms. Wherever you are, if you're a new agent, most 99.9% of the brokerages, you do your sales and you get a commission split, just like you do here. We're an 80-20 split. And then what happens is you go to 100% once you hit your cap. And that's great. And you get a lot of tools and training. But here's where it's different, is that you also get stock equity that goes towards your retirement for free. And I have the ability to bring people on, as many as I want, anywhere that eXp is, introduce them to the model. If they sign up, I get a portion of their commission, not only now, but next year and the year after that. As long as they're in the business and I retain my license, I will get checks every month for rev-share. Every month, regardless of whether you sell or not. That's called residual income. You know, there's a book written by Robert Kiyosaki who talks about residual income. That's what this model is. We have given agents a second and third rail of revenue that wasn't there. Simply wasn't there. Now, in a short period of time, we've gone from, I'm agent number 50. We're at 85,000 agents today. We've gone a short amount of time from that to, these are our stats. Not only are we the fastest growing real estate brokerage that's ever existed, but we happen to be number one mover in transactions, 2020 to 2021. Number one top mover in volume. Okay. Number one top independent in transaction size. Are you seeing a pattern here? Not only are we the fastest, but we're doing the most business. Number 4 in closed sales volume. And then number 4 in Billionaires Club. We're competing against other brokerages that have been around 30, 40, 50 years. We're only like 12 years old. And, we were at a convention last year in Vegas. And I remember our founder and CEO saying, yes, we're at, such and such number of agents. We will be at 500,000 agents in 5 years. I've been here 12 years, and every time he sets a benchmark, we've achieved it. So I get chills when I think about that. Here are 2 more slides that talk about market share. As you can see down here, you have 1 through 4 in real estate out of the top 1,000 brokerages. We're number 4. Compass, which has a higher volume dollar-wise, but the number of transactions, we actually do double of what they do. And you see Realty and Home Services, which are number 2 and number 3. Those are actually multiple brokerages. So Realty, which is now called Anywhere, is Better Homes, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, ERA, Sotheby's, all of those compared to just eXp. Same thing goes for Home Services, which is Warren Buffett's group. And the funny thing is, both of those agents don't get any revenue. They don't get any equity. So it's been a whirlwind with growth, with production, but also awards. This company has won everything from Glassdoor to the T3 to Inman Most Innovative Brokerage, not once, but twice in the last 10 years. And so we're hitting on all cylinders. There's a reason why agents are coming here. And it's not just because of the revenue streams. That's unbelievable and fantastic and life-changing. The classes, we offer 60 live classes every week. And the tools that we use are second to none. Most people are lucky that they have a website. eXp gives everybody what is called a KV Core suite. That is like a Ferrari of lead generation websites. If you can't generate a lead from our website, you're doing something wrong. You haven't opened up your computer. It is everything that an agent would desire to have to start a business. This is kind of, again, echoing who eXp is with these different companies here. But that's important because we're not just a real estate company, we're a real estate umbrella of companies that help us as agents. Success, for example, is there's Success Health, there's Success Workspaces, there's Success Coaching for real estate agents globally. We own that. I have stock in that. Mind blowing. So because of this, we're attracting agents across the country, but here are just a few of the high profile agents that we have. You probably recognize a couple of these, but in the upper left-hand corner is Ari Leindyke, who's a Indianapolis 500 race car driver, very famous. I think he was on Dancing with the Stars. He joined our group. Middle top, that's Than Merrill. He's one of the top flippers in the country. Of course, Tarek El Moussa from Flipper Flop on HGTV. And then down in the bottom left-hand corner, Tony Robbins speaks at our events, and his son actually works with us in Success magazine. And then the last two are Grant Cardone. If you've ever seen the 10X books, best-selling business books, he's a billionaire. Why does he need to come to eXp? Well, his wife Elena joined because he sees that this is a unique business model that they can't create themselves. I mean, Tarek El Moussa was multimillionaire himself. Why would he bring his real estate team to eXp? Because he can't reproduce the training, the tools, the collaboration, the stock, the whole package. He can't do it himself. And then the last guy down in the bottom right-hand corner, if I sing, "That Girl Is Poison," I'm a terrible singer, but that's Ronnie DeVoe from Bill Bev DeVoe or New Edition. He's been a real estate agent for 20 plus years. He's with us. And many, many, many other top producers. The reason that they brought their brokerage, whether you're a brand new agent, because we have an incredible mentor program, or an existing agent, or like I said, you have your own boutique brokerage or team, eXp will take you to the next level. I have to update this literally almost weekly, but this was a snapshot of us in 83,000 agents, 21 different countries, and 10 spoken languages. That's increased to 85,000 since last week. That was announced in Las Vegas, which is incredible. Now, here's the really fun part is for the brokerage that doesn't have any brick and mortar offices, we have 3,500 offices. Because what we've done is we've worked out a relationship with Regis corporate offices. If I need to use an office, all I do is I pull up my phone. I don't know if you can see it here, my phone. And we have a relationship here in the Washington, D.C. area. There's 41 of them. I pull it up. I look at the nearest one. I go in. I flash my QR code. You automatically get use of it. That's part of your low monthly fee. You can now, so the company that doesn't own any offices, we have offices everywhere, every city, globally, nationally, that you get to use. Bring your clients in, drink the coffee, do your contracts. But what that's done is, because we're public, not a franchise, because we don't own the offices, which is a tremendous overhead, we have a relationship with Regis. It brings down the costs and allows eXp to pay our agents better and give us better tools and training. Mentor, education, training, and support. This is huge. When you get into real estate, it's tough, especially your first 6 months. You need to have somebody holding your hand and helping you get that first deal and the second deal and third deal. I'm gonna click this right here, guys, and I'm gonna show you eXp. When I started, had about 12 to 15 live classes a week, which is a lot. It's way more than other brokerages. But now we've literally gone to over 60 live classes a week. And those classes range from anything from, hey, I'm a brand new agent, what do I do with this lead? All the way up to, listen, I'm doing 30 million in production and I want to take it up to 50 million, 60 million. How do I do that? We have classes that fit everybody's expertise. So this was just today. There were classes on digital marketing, transition skills to this market, working with buyers, working with sellers, excuse me, making it rain, which is our lead generation program. That was just today. And then you go to tomorrow, and we have 15 to 20 more tomorrow. Actually, there's a whole bunch tomorrow. And then on Friday. And then you'll see these classes right here, which are called icon classes. These are taught by some of the top agents in the country that are with EXP, that have a relationship with the company where they get paid stock for teaching classes. And I'll highlight that a little bit more as we go on. But this is where, if your other brokerage that I was at, the other brokerage that I was at, nobody cared whether I did a sale or not. And if I went to the top person in the company and I said, hey, can you help me maybe get a few more sales? They would look at me like I had lobsters coming out of my ears. Here, there's a collaboration that's built into our model that people want to help you because they get compensated as well, but they also help the company grow because they're shareholders in their stock. So hopefully that makes sense. We have everything from mentor training to luxury training to daily training. And I like to think of it as almost like a bar stool for support. You have the company, you have the person that brought you in, which is your sponsor. And then if you're a new agent, you have a mentor that's holding your hand, helping you write contracts, helping you get through the process on your first 3 deals. That's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And then the tools, as I said, I could jump in here all day, but let me just sum it up. You get a KV Core website, you get SkySlope, you get Facebook Workplace, you get all kinds of unbelievable apps for your production, all of your marketing, hundreds and hundreds of marketing pieces, listing agreements, flyers are there at your fingertips because you will have access to Breakthrough Broker, part of your low monthly fee, and it's all right there. I will say, in the last 12 years, EXP has stayed at one flat monthly fee and never raised it. All they're doing is they keep adding things on, which is incredible. I'll show you exactly how that works here in a second. So we're going to jump into the nuts and bolts of how the company's model is, okay? This is basically, I'm an agent, I'm coming on board, what is your split? There it is. It's an 80-20 split, which is more than most brokerages, just right off the start. And we have a $16,000 cap. Once you've capped, and that cap, for those of you who are brand new, don't know what that means. That means if I sell something, 20% goes to the company. And once I've given the company $16,000, I'm done with my cap for the year. It's a calendar year. And I go to 100%. So any deal I do after that, I get 100% of my commission. I just had somebody who was a new agent 6 years ago. I'll say her name, Dawn. Won't say her last name. She capped in 6 weeks. New agent 6 years ago, she capped. She sold enough. She's 100% for the remainder of the year. To get started with us, it's $149 for a startup fee. That gets you business cards, gets you in the door. It pays for your first month. It's $85 a month. That's it. $85 a month gets you a website, all those tools I was talking about, 60 hours of live classes, access to 3,500 Regis offices, and a whole bunch of collaboration and support that you wouldn't get anywhere else. 85 bucks. When you do your transactions, you only pay those fees for review, and your E&O insurance, only when you sell something. So there's not a franchise fee on top of that or an international global marketing fee like some of the other brokerages have. It's $85. That's it. As far as the compensation, this is what I didn't have and most agents don't have. And now that I've been on with this company for 12 years, I feel bad for them that they don't have it. But here, as I mentioned before, when I brought somebody on, if I introduced them and brought them on to my company and introduced them to my broker, I got a, yay, I got a Starbucks card. Now I get paid $2,800 for every agent I bring on every year that agent is in the business, provided that they cap, which is not very difficult to do. I can bring on as many agents as I want, and I can bring them on anywhere in the country and now the world. We're in 21 countries and growing every day. Wow, that's different. It's very different. And as you can see, there's a tier 3, tier 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 7. You get paid on all of them. So here's an example. If I bring somebody on and they bring somebody on and they bring somebody on, I get paid on everybody that's below me 7 levels deep. And you say, well, how is that possible? You guys are going to go out of business. Well, first of all, remember when I told you our overhead is tremendously lower than other brokerages. That's how we're able to do it. We don't have all that fluff on there, and we're a publicly traded company, so we have to be profitable. As a matter of fact, if you go to eXp World Holdings, you'll see all of our financials. This is a very financially sound company, very conservative in that sense. This is an example of the revenue share. And so here's a hypothetical. I understand the model. I like this company. And so I tell 4 people about it over the course of the year. Hey, come on board. I think you'd like it. You're a new agent, especially, we have somebody on this call that's a younger agent. This is perfect for your demographics. You bring 4 people on, you get paid $2,800 for every one of those agents. That's $11,200 that I get paid, whether I sell something or not, every year, as long as those agents are with us, which is pretty awesome. But remember, there's a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all the way down to 7th. So if I brought on 5 people on my front level and I shared with them how to bring other people on, or I introduced them or I met them, I get paid on the 2nd level and the 3rd level. And sometimes it's people that I've never even met. This is built in to our financial model. That 20% covers all of that. So the company is never in jeopardy of not being financially sound. That revenue sharing only comes from us selling homes. So there's an incentive for all of us to sell homes, right? So here's an additional $30,000 that can come from somebody. We have people making way more than this, okay? In full disclosure, this is with just 15 people in your downline? There are people with hundreds. There are other people with 15. Having a $30,000 revenue check coming in over the course of a year, comes in every month. So if you broke that, it'd be about $2,000 additional income on top of your commission sales. It's pretty darn helpful. But here's the third one, is the equity portion. Because we're a publicly traded company, you look up EXPI, you'll see our stock ticker with Nasdaq. Glenn, I call him Glenn, but Glenn Sanford, who founded the company, said, I want agents to feel like they own part of the company. And they do, they will own part of the company. So on your first transaction, company gives you stock. You cap, they give you stock. If you introduce somebody else to the company, they give you stock. And if you remember me talking about icon agents, well, the company has said, you're a valuable asset, not only to the real estate industry, but to our company. Glenn has set up something what is called an Icon Agent Award. If you cap and you sell a certain number of homes, that 16,000 that you've paid into the company, eXp is going to give you back that amount, $16,000 in company stock. They're saying, thank you. Thank you for being such a great agent. Now, there are a couple of strings attached for those folks. They have to teach a class to the rest of us. So these people that are doing incredible sales volume, yes, they get compensated in the form of stock, but they also give back to the company by attending events, by mentoring, and putting on these incredible classes. And they tell us how they do their unbelievable production. And then the last one is, it's almost like an ESOP program, but it's an equity agent program. If I believe in this company and I want to, put something towards my retirement, I can actually take 5% of my commission that I've made on my last transaction, and I get to buy company stock at a 10% discount. So it's almost like getting free money. I put in, and I buy stock at that's trading at $100 and I get it for $90, I've already made $90. Now, full disclosure, stock goes up and down. But what I can tell you is, it started out at 17 cents. Okay. And our company is grown and increased in value and market cap. So that's something that I didn't have in my other brokerage. 3 revenue streams. I get a lot of people also that I'm talking to about this model, and they'll say, well, I'm at 100%. I'm at this brokerage and I get 100% of my commission. I don't know if I can get much more. And I kind of scratched my head and I started thinking, like, how can I respond to them? Because I don't think they understand 100% is nothing. I'm at 1,400%. And this I just did this calculation based on a couple of years ago, but it's basically the company is paying me to actually have my license here by just doing some transactions, introducing the model to people. So when I hear 100%, I say, wow, why are you limiting yourself? You can have so much more. And that's the truth. Who couldn't, enjoy or benefit an additional revenue stream, a residual check that you get just by introducing people to the company? And it's not hard. It's not hard at all. There's people joining each and every day. Some of the other businesses that are exploding at eXp is we've also gone into the commercial division, which we have expcommercial.com. That is starting to sweep the country, as well as healthcare. That's the thing about being an independent contractor. It's very difficult. It's not like a company where you go and, get healthcare, except eXp went ahead and negotiated healthcare for all the agents. So we actually have our own healthcare for all of the agents. You can take it or not. That's totally up to you, but it's here. It's provided if you want to access it. So, as I said at the very beginning, there's no way in the world that I can cover everything about this brokerage. There's just too many things to offer. But what I want you to do is don't get defensive. Don't think about, well, I love my brokerage. I love my broker. That's great. So did I. But you know what I love more? It's my family and my children and my retirement. If they're my friends with my brokerage, they'll stay my friends. But here, this is a business model that is allowing agents to do things that they couldn't do at other brokerages. And a nice analogy would be, I'm a race car driver and I've got 2 cars here. I can sit in a Prius or I can sit in a Formula One car. I'm the same race car driver, but over here in this Formula car, I'm going to be able to go faster and win more races and produce better results just because I'm sitting in a different vehicle. Well, it's the same thing here. eXp is a different vehicle that is allowing agents to expand their business and accelerate far more than the traditional brick and mortar franchise brokerage. So I would challenge you, get with the person that sent you here, sit down with them and really go over every aspect of it. Come into this crazy world that's behind us and find out why 85,000 agents are utilizing it in 21 different countries and how that can save me time and money with all the tools, training, technology that eXp has to offer. So there you go. I'm going to leave it out there. My website, if you're tuning into this, is bestbrokeragemodel.com. I also have a Linktree website that has all my websites, and there's a 9-minute overview video. It's linktr.ee / David Harbour, and you can go there and all my websites are there. So anyways, I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you have any more questions, reach out to the person that sent you here, okay? And literally, you owe it to yourself to find out what this model has to offer before you make any decisions about going to a brokerage. You really do. Because what I can say is, it's not only changed my life, I know that sounds corny, but it has, but it's changed hundreds and thousands of people's lives by giving us something that we didn't have before: ownership, additional revenue streams, classes, tools that are out of this world. So, hey, thanks for stopping by the eXp Explained. We're going to do these periodically as we have new and interesting things happening to the company. But here it is, October 2022. eXp is literally exploding globally. I'm so glad to be part of it. So, hey, have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.